All right, our last project in Microsoft Word 2019. We're going to be inserting in some shapes, doing some text wrapping. Well, you've done some of that already. Online picture symbols, paragraph borders. No, we did paragraph fill. Various styles. A little something new. A lot of people don't know about the tab stops. I preferred actually using tables, but old school documents still use tab stops. We want to be sure how to handle those. Putting in tables that Word provides. Formatting a paragraph border. That old paintbrush, people often don't know what that paintbrush is. We've done a text box, but there's other cool smart art graphics we're going to do. So we're going to print out something, and I think they have a example. We're going to produce this letterhead for a letter we're going to write, and then the actual page with graphics displaying some schedule for an upcoming meeting. So doing all these graphics, you're going to learn how to do all this kind of thing, making a nice letterhead, putting in a nicely formatted information beneath that letterhead. Notice there's eagles facing one another, messing with images and putting them in this graphic. Basic formatting. Here is a nice formatted word table, bulleted text. We've done that before. A bordered paragraph. Again, I would prefer a text box with a border. I'll show you that alternative to bordering the paragraph. And then smart art. Filling in the schedule using some smart art. All right, so let's get going. Pull my page over here and let's start a new Word project. So I have the old Word project. It's saved. I now do File, New. Starting with a blank document. Going to zoom in a little bit. Print layout is the format I'm listing it in. Turning on or off paragraph markings, I'll turn that on for now and turn it off when it gets irritating. I can decide how wide to display the page. I'm happy with that. Control scrolling the mouse gives me my zoom that I like. And now we're ready to enter some content. We're going to create that letterhead first. I'm going to play with little graphics, get you comfortable with graphics. Let's see, I don't recall them asking us to change our margins yet. Let me check that. We haven't messed with our margins. Sometimes it's a pain to change them later. I don't see a margin setting, so I guess we're going to the default margins. Okay, so we're going to start by inserting that little rectangle-y shape that's going to become the center of our letterhead, or the graphic for our letterhead. So, insert, shapes, and rectangle there, or if I haven't used it recently, it'll show up in my rectangles. Lots of various shapes of rectangles. I'm going to give you some flexibility there if you'd like to choose your own shape. I'm going to choose the basic rectangle and draw it in approximately this size. We can always specify the size later. It's going to look something like this. Come over here and we're going to draw it about the width of our page. Sorry, our margin, not the width of the page. About 1/2 inch to 6 inches. And once I let go, it will now show me a shape with the shape style, color blue. And now it's time to talk about wrapping. Like to wrap when we do our docs. I don't know how to rhyme it with something else, but I'm not very good at wrapping. But in Word, we can do a different kind of wrapping. That little icon that shows up, right-click on that baby, left-click on that, and I see the different styles of wrapping available. Again, many people don't know about this, but on top of the page WD37, it talks about all those types of wrapping available. We're going to choose the top center with square text wrapping. Let's see, that's that guy right there. Wait. That's right, top left. why it's not looking the same way as in the book. That's bugging me. Maybe let's try this one. It's not looking the same. We want top center with square text wrapping. Am I looking in the wrong place? Let's try see more. No, text wrapping. It's not giving me the same. Under position, it was supposed to be, there we go. Position is what I wanted. Sorry, I was messed up. Not the wrapping yet. Position on the page with wrapping. That's the one we're looking for. So this does both position and wrapping. I was confused. I was looking at that. That specific position that's the one I want. And we see the little anchor symbol show up over here. That's telling us that that is anchored to that particular document location. Because we haven't given much room for text anyway, the text around, right now the paragraph is showing there, but eventually that line will pop down below because there's not going to be room to fit any text nearby. So I have the rectangle, and then we have the option. We want to make sure that this paragraph doesn't accidentally show up there. So now I can set the wrapping to be top and bottom instead of square around it. Make sure that there isn't any line that shows up to the left or right of it. See how that paragraph now jumps down below. That's the wrapping. My favorite wrapping is either in front or behind text. Lets my shape be completely independent of any other text on the page. It can be very confusing. You adjust your shape and suddenly your text is moving all over the place. But if you just want a shape in there that you want to place for just eye candy, I often find that behind or in front lets me treat the text of that shape independently. Alright, so we have our first little shape. That's going to become the center of our little graphic. But now we want to apply a style to that. Just to get some practice with shape styles. The shape style we're going to start with is the second from the bottom, right here, the moderate effect orange. Remember, where these colors come from is our theme colors. So if we ever decide to change our theme color, that color will change. We're not choosing a specific color, but the theme color in that position. And the outline of the shape, we are going to give it a slightly gold outline. So we have our shape style, but now we're modifying it to change slightly the outline to a orangey pointer gold accent 4, that guy right there. And you can just barely see that outline. To see it more, I could change the outline weight, and I could see the effect of that gold around the outline. I'm going to just make it slightly thicker just so it's clear that there's one there. Okay, so we have a shape, inserted, position, wrapping, fill, and outline. And now we can apply some cool effects to it, just like we could apply picture effects. The shape effect we're going to apply is a glowing custom shape effect. So the shape has to be selected. And where's our shape effects? There it is. Shape effect, glow, and they would like us to choose just a tiny bit of glow around it. Because we already have a yellow or a lighter outline, it's not as obvious, but you can see if you make a large glow, you see the effect. I'm going to go with the 5-point glow. Now, since the shape is selected, I don't have to do anything except start typing if I want text to appear on this. So I have it selected. I'm just going to start typing sunset, to be on the page, sunset, capital S, Sunset State College. You can right-click, add text, but just start typing, and it will automatically add the text. Start adding the text. And because I can treat the text just like in any paragraph, I can do a select all, Control A, and Control Shift greater than, or adjust my size from the menu up to 30, 24, they would like 24 point. Now, I'm not seeing my size appear as I do the greater than, but if I go to the Home tab, I will see, oh, it's 26. Now it's 24. If I want exact size of that rectangle, let's see, did they ever give us the exact size of that rectangle? Let me go back a few pages here. I think again, they made it and colored it. And eventually, I'll show you. Well, we can actually. Oh, I do see the exact size there on the top of page WD3-8. The Format tab lets me exactly give the size, even though I'm happy with the guess there. If I have exact size as I see on the page, I see that they had it exactly 1/2 inch tall, so 0.5. I can give it the exact size vertical, and horizontally I can give the exact size of 5 inches. Now it matches exactly the size that they have created in the book based on what I see on WD3-8. Sometimes it's nice to know the exact size and set it without having to drag it meticulously till it's exactly right. Alright, now we're adding, I think it's the next thing, our picture on left and right of that. Oh, we want to, we're going to bold that name just to make that a little better. So we're going to select that text again, Control A, Control B to bold the name. And since I've done a lot of work here, I'm going to Control S, save it before I forget, and I'm going to save it in my folder that I used today already. Give it a new name, my last name, put your last name in there, WD3. Your name shows up, the name of the file shows up on the top. And now we can continue with some graphics. They're going to appear on either side of this. And what we're going to be looking for is some online picture containing an eagle. They've stolen the Emmaus eagle icon. Let's see what we find online. To find and put that in there, I need to do Insert, Online Picture. Let's put in the word eagle in the search for an online picture. You get to choose your eagle picture. See how hard it is to find the one that they have in the book. Theirs is a eagle with some orangey around it. See if it's in here. I'm not seeing that. Maybe I have to uncheck Creative Commons because I'm not seeing the eagle that they show. They've got a similar. This one's similar. You're welcome to pick your own eagle picture. Oh, and now I'm getting a few more showing. If I wait a little bit, some more show up. I still haven't seen the one in the book, although some are close. Let me uncheck Creative Commons only and see if I get more choices showing up here. I should see quite a few more. Ooh, that's a cool one. A bear riding an eagle? What in the world? I would trust the online pictures from Word, but again, be careful if you go to search for images. Even the innocent word eagle may bring up something you did not expect and don't want your mom to see. I don't see the one that they have in the book, but I have similar one. I'll just pick a similar one. I'm looking for one that has a background. This is a decent looking one, similar to the book. I guess I'll go with that one because I don't want to spend a lot of time searching for images. As fun as this is, double click or click the Insert button. And now I get this large picture. I want it to fit left and right side of this bar that I know is 0.5 inches tall. So to adjust it exactly the right size, I'm going to come up here and change that to 0.5 for its height. Hit enter, and it automatically adjusts the width to match proportionally. Now if I want this to show up, I think I want the eagle facing my, let's see, how do they do it in the book? Do they have it facing or facing away? Let's see. I think they have it facing the bar. Yeah, they're going to have it facing the bar. So I'm going to put this one over here on the right side. Now, notice how it's not moving it for me because the wrapping for this picture doesn't let me move it around, and I need to change its wrapping so I can adjust its position. Give it a height and a width, and oh, we're also going to adjust the colors to match the theme. Color and brightness. Going to put a border on it, and then we're going to change its wrapping to be independent of any text. So I'm going to change the color style. The color is actually not too bad here. I can adjust my color though up here under corrections and under color. Go ahead and make some changes just to see what can be done there. You know, I kind of like the darker. That almost matches. I'm going to just make a slight color adjustment there, just for fun. Corrections, I can make it more or less contrast. I'm pretty happy with it the way it is. We are not doing any artistic effects, but I think they do want us to put a border around it. I'm going to put a picture border. And let's see, I might as well make it that same orangey border that we had in the other one. And let's see, can I add any picture effects? How about that little glow that we had, similar glow? And I do want it to face the bar, so I'm going to put this one over here. I'll make a copy and rotate that one. But in order for me to be able to put it up next to this bar, I have to allow it to be placed anywhere. And that's where the wrapping of behind text or in front of text makes it completely independent. And I think they asked us to do front of text. Even though in this case it really doesn't make a difference because we're not putting any text nearby. So that one's going to be facing the bar. I make a copy of that by Control-C, Control-V. I want this one to now be facing the opposite direction. To make sure that it doesn't change shape or size, instead of dragging this edge through, I'm just going to go up here to, where is my, here we go. I'm going to do a flip horizontal, and now I can drag him over to this side, and I think it will snap to a good spot. Right there. Yep. Uh-oh. You must have the wrong thing selected when you turned on glow. We'll stop this right here. We are out of time. Save what you have. Save it to your Google Drive, to your OneDrive, or as a first submission to Schoology. And when you finish it, you can submit the final version. Always keep a backup somewhere. All right, that's the end of part 1. Got started on our project 3.